What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heavenly. Thank you so much. If you're new here, hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different because we're out of schedule, right? So I just put up a video on how I did this look. If you have not watched, make sure you click on the link and you check out the tutorial. Super easy, great style. I've had this look for about 3 days now. I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell unless you like looked at the ends. That's how you can tell, like, okay, it's been a few days. But otherwise, you would not be able to look at first glance, right? So if you want to find out how, keep watching. Alright, so I mentioned 3 days in, and this is our look from our no heat curls, our Flexi Rod set. And so I wanted to hop on here and do a very quick tutorial on what I do each night to keep this style going for as long as possible. I'm probably gonna start wearing it up. You know, I've done the big look for a few days, and so I want to, start putting up some styles. If you want to see which hairstyles I come up with, leave a comment down below and maybe I'll put together another mini video to show you a few different hairstyles you can wear as your Flexi Rod set starts to age. First things first, I take about 12 Flexi Rods. I'm gonna do my bangs and I'm gonna do the perimeter of my head, and then I'm gonna pineapple my hair. I don't add anything to my hair on the ends or any product. I kind of just rolled the curls that were already formed. But because I want to go back in with my Mielle Pomegranate Honey Twisting Soufflé, and this is the same product I use to do the Flexi Rod set. So if you're going to refresh your curls at any point, no matter what style, Flexi Rod, twist out, or wash and go, you want to use the same exact product. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, use very minimal product, because if you're low porosity, so low porosity alert, if you have low porosity, you want to keep in mind that if your hair is dry and then you want to add a bunch of product, that's a big no-no, because you're going to have to re-wet your hair so that it absorbs the product, and then you're going to have to deal with the dry time. So we want to avoid that. So I would only add like just a little bit. A little goes a long way. So I just want to add a little bit to my ends, and I'll just clump my hair together just to give it a little vibrance. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. So I'm going to take the curls that are kind of in line with each other in my bang area, and then we're going to roll them. Make sure that they're going in the same direction. So you don't want some curls. When I roll my hair initially, I went alternating directions as I installed the Flexi Rods, and so I want to make sure if I'm rolling them again, I'm going in the same direction, so I don't have some curls that were naturally going to the left messed up and then you lose your curl pattern the next day because you rolled it to the right. I've done it. I went through this, so you don't have to go through this. So remember, go the same direction that the curls were initially. So you can look in the mirror, you can start rolling them along the Flexi Rod and just see if it kind of goes in the same direction. You don't have some going this way and then some going back towards you. So these are all going in the same direction. And I will make sure there's enough tension, not too much, again, because these are my edges. And I don't have to be too neat because we're just making sure that we keep the spiral for tomorrow. So the same thing, I'll make sure it lines up. And so you see, I might have broken this one curl down 4 different times. So that's how much I separate my hair, and I have just enough moisture on my ends because of that one dollop I used of the twisting souffle. Also try to keep the length of the curl. Like this curl, I probably could have extended a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'm going to allow my hair not to just be rolled on top of each other. And I know that's very difficult to explain, but I'm going to start at the end of my Flexi Rod. Once the end is secure, I'm going to start rolling my way up. okay? So that's what I mean by not rolling your hair just on top of each other, because you want to keep the length of your bang. If you have bangs, I mean, this doesn't apply to you if your hair is all long, but all around my hair, I do the same thing. So I might start at the very end of my flexi rod, and then I work my way up to this end, and then I'll seal it. So again, I start at the bottom of my flexi rod, got about an inch there, and then as I roll my way up, keeping the same amount of tension. You see where it ends? I probably have 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches. So that way when I take my hair down, it doesn't lose the spiral, and it's not gonna be like some tight curl all the way up here. Side note, I'm aware that my bangs are really short. I'm trying to grow them out. Maybe y'all don't even care about that, but a little disclaimer that I noticed it, okay? So if you noticed it, I noticed it too, and just let me grow my hair out, and then we're gonna get back to regular scheduled programming, okay? Thanks. Y'all know I don't want to be out here with those bangs. They be like all the way up here, like bring them down. So why are your bangs so short? I don't know. I don't know if y'all even care about that, but I do, and I notice stuff like that. Now you can talk about yourself sometime. Don't have to take yourself so serious. And like this is pretty frizzy. I pineappled this curl, so that's why it's giving that. But I noticed it today, and I didn't really like it. So see, this is giving me some flake because I didn't add any water. So we'll find out in the morning how much flake, because I just don't want to add any water and risk my hair reverting. It's been doing pretty good. I'll be on day 4 tomorrow. Okay, so from there we're gonna go around the perimeter of my hair, because this is where I sleep, and I don't sleep on one particular side. I do switch sides. Sometimes I end up on my back. I don't know. So I want to make sure these curls don't get flat. As you can tell, the curls underneath, they're still very maintained, and they look a lot cleaner than the ones up here. I don't care about these as much because they still look good and it's giving me volume. But if you do want to recurl, you know, higher up, maybe to the crown or almost the crown of your head, you can do that. But that's a lot of work, and this doesn't take me that long. Generally, if I wasn't recording, it would only take me about 10 minutes. So let's get it started. Also, be sure you're not disrupting your curl. So like if you can't feel your hair, and I'm going to use this curl as an example. If I'm trying to combine, you know, these curls and I want to add this one, don't necessarily split that one, because you want your hair to be intact as much as possible. So as I'm gathering, or as I'm selecting curls to gather and combine in this retwist, re-roll, or what have you, I'm using curls that are already together. So then in the morning, when I separate them, they'll turn into these three. But tonight, there'll be one curl, if that makes sense. So don't ruin your curls unnecessarily, because that's going to create more work for you, and you can't guarantee what your hair is going to look like in the morning. Okay, so this is how we look. we're all secure, okay? And then we go to sleep. So it's pretty comfortable. I didn't tighten, you know, the Flexi Rods extra tight. I didn't roll them extra tight. So I can sleep perfectly fine, because I mean, it's almost like pillows or cushions. So I'll wake back up in the morning. I'll show you how I take it down and then the look. But as I started the video, you can kind of get the picture. We're good to go right away. Just take the Flexi Rods down, separate. Again, use your oil. Separate and then go. Curls are still intact. See, this is what happens when you wet your hair too much. It's a little bit too wet, and so this is the curl that I added. I didn't re-roll previous nights, and this night I did. So I put a little bit more moisturizer on it, and it's still a little bit wet, which is ridiculous, right? But it's gonna work. This is the pre-expanded look. And so now let's separate. I'm gonna grab some oil, and then we'll separate these curls, and you'll be good to go for your day. right, beautiful people, there you have it. That is how you refresh and keep your Flexi Rod set maintained for multiple days. You do that every night. As I told you, it takes about 10 minutes for me to just roll the perimeter of my hair again, and I sleep perfectly fine. I'm not uncomfortable at all. I don't do it too tight. I use very minimal product when I'm refreshing like the ends because they might be a little bit dry, but then don't use too much product because then your curls, if you're low porosity, if you're high porosity, you're fine. But if you're low porosity, don't use too much product because your curls could still be wet in the morning, so you don't want that. But this is the final look. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below. I wanted to make sure I did this video because I had a few people reach out to me about how we keep this look. Very simple, very easy. If you have other ideas or suggestions that you'd like to see from me, just leave a comment. You know, I do read your comments. I appreciate your feedback, and we'll keep the content coming. I'm gonna try to get another video out this week. As I mentioned, this video is a little bit out of schedule, but I saw a lot of comments about how do you keep your hair maintained like this, and so I wanted to make sure I touched on it. So thanks for joining us. See you later.